Hi everybody, it's James Rowley again with Hammond Forever House. I promised you to tell you what the big conclusion was about cars. We have this 2015 Nissan Leaf. It's very nice. We got it used, which is a good thing. It gets about 120 kilometer range. Very good for commuting. Around here, it takes 2 hops to get to Whistler, for example. You got to charge in Squamish, which is not a big deal. But we wanted to get off fossil fuels. We had a 2001 Volvo, which was doing really well, but it was starting to need maintenance. So we finally wanted to do something else. We got this baby used in 2018. We bought this used from Westwood Honda for $20,000. Okay, so that's the metric. Paid that off fairly quickly, so everything else is kind of gravy. It's about a quarter of the cost of fueling a gas car to fuel this little EV. That's the true with most EVs. Okay, so we're really liking that, and I think, like a lot of people who have a gas car and an electric vehicle, there's a sense that you need the gas car because at any moment you might want to drive to Alberta, which doesn't usually happen. Then as you go along, you start to realize that you don't want to drive the gas car. In most families, you have this little fight over who gets the electric vehicle for the day. And that was the same with us. We just left the Volvo and we didn't drive it very much, so we're insuring it and we're paying for gas. And we're kind of feeling like we don't really need this. We don't need this range, generally speaking. But at the same time, 120 kilometer range, it did cramp our style a little bit. There's a little bit of that anxiety. You get used to it. Anyway, so finally we're ready to get a longer range EV, get rid of the fossil fuels in our life. The house doesn't use any fossil fuels. There's no gas in the house. We don't even use any little propane gadget. The car doesn't use any gasoline, so we're off fossil fuels completely if we get rid of that 2001 Volvo. So what we did was we went back to the same place, and when I checked Westwood Honda like a year ago, they really didn't have any electric vehicles to speak of. Well, right now they have a whole bunch. So that's really the ideal. We are certainly in a consumer culture where we grew up wanting the new thing, the new shiny thing. And we felt that hankering of like, maybe now this is the time that we in our lives that we're going to buy a new car. 2023, 2024 Tesla Model Y, Kia EV6. Kia's just come out with a larger EV9, and it scratches that itch of the long range, like 500 kilometer range, very similar to a gas car. You're not going to have that range anxiety, and it's brand new. But the downside is the environmental side. Any new car and those batteries are quite carbon intensive to create in the first place. Yes, they're recyclable and they're better in the long run, but at the beginning, they're quite carbon intensive, and the new car itself is completely new material. All of that carbon has been gone into that. So really the best option is a used electric vehicle. So lo and behold, I went and checked the Westwood Honda website, and they happen to have a whole bunch more Leafs and Tesla Model 3s especially. So this is our new car, ladies and gentlemen. This, do you know what this is? This is a Nissan Leaf, which is the same kind of car. We're very familiar with this kind of car. It's got very similar controls. It's got the buttons. It doesn't have the big panel that you have to deal with all the time. There's buttons in places that we're quite used to having buttons. So this is a 2021 Nissan Leaf. Drives very nice. It's got some gadgets like the little sensors and stuff where, oh, you're gonna change lanes, and oh, there's a car there, watch out. That's pretty nice. So this, when I unplugged it this morning, it said the range was 383 kilometers on that full charge. You're not going to get that, so I would kind of say 350 we might get 350 kilometers range. And we're finding this weird thing happen where it gets down to half a battery, and because we're used to driving this 120 kilometer range, when it gets down to half a battery, we start getting a little bit like, oh, we should probably charge it. But no, we still have even more range in this car than we did at half a battery than we did at this car with a full battery. So it's a bit of a mind trip. You get used to it. But we are, and we're having a little bit of those fights where I would, hey honey, can I drive your nice new car, or do I have to? But 2015, this is a new car. You still get the same sense that it's a new car. You have that new car feeling. These cars that Westwood Honda is selling are, they've been leased. So, as you know, as you might not know, if you lease a car, lease to own it, you can upgrade it. So, and there's no penalty for that. So these cars have not been driven. It was, I think, 22,000 kilometer on the odometer when we bought it. So that's really almost nothing. The battery is warranted for 8 years. So we're far and away from that. So basically we got a new car, and it was $40,000, and not actually the Tesla Model Y was $80,000 that we were actually thinking of buying an $80,000 car. And as you know, those numbers are big. But as you know, most of the time when you buy from a dealer, you're really talking about how much per month are you going to pay. So it turns into that monthly payment. And if you can make that monthly payment, then you kind of start forgetting how much the actual sticker price was. So the calculation that you want to make, I think, is if you've got a gas car, figure out how much you're paying for gas every month, and understand that the gas prices are going nowhere but up. How much maintenance do you pay? The insurance is going to be about the same. So gas and maintenance, if those two payments come anywhere near the monthly payment for a used electric vehicle, you're in business. That was our experience with our Toyota Prius when we bought the Nissan Leaf. The gas and the maintenance of the Toyota Prius, which is a hybrid, more or less equaled out to the monthly payments for the car. And then once we paid the car off, it was all gravy. So this is the purchasing an electric vehicle experience. Try to buy a used one if you can. Don't be scared, too scared about the battery. It's a good idea to buy from a dealer. There are, guarantees there. There's, you can take the car back if there's a problem. What else do I want to say? I know that was a long video. I hope it was interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay? Cheers.